All right, CP, two statements made by these two parties, the main opposition party, the PDP, and of course the All Progressives Congress. The first statement is by Orji Uzo Kalu. You know, he has declared that the APC is not afraid of the opposition coalition at all. You know, Kalu said that the opposition coalition has every right to challenge the APC, but the ruling party will remain focused on delivering its mandate. Governors elected under the platform of the PDP have also vowed not to bow to intimidation by the federal government. You know, the governors accuse the federal government of employing intimidation and exclusion tactics, saying they would resist such measures and remain steadfast in their commitment to good governance. So it's now a wooing game, all right? APC wooing more governors of the PDP. But the way you're looking at it, do you think some other governors are set to defect to the APC?
Well, we have seen one already from Delta State, and we have seen another one coming up very soon from Akwa Ibom, where the governor said that any commissioner that fails to defect with him to APC should resign or he will sack him. So, I mean, you see, what is happening or what is playing out is what they saw in Edo State, where His Excellency the President asked the APC, do you want the governor of Edo State? He's there now, he's documented, the videos are there. And they said, why not? That's our interest. He said, okay, I'll give you Edo State. And he ended up giving them Edo State. You can see that's a very deep statement. You know what I mean? And it turned out the way the man had said it. So you find out that all the PDP governors who are just doing their first term are jittery. And they are very, very scared that the same thing of Edo will happen to them. So it is better they are now in the APC, and they will use money to settle whoever will be aggrieved to pave way for them to have their second term under APC. That's just the game plan. So I am not surprised by what Sheriff did in Delta and what Eno is going to do in Akwa Ibom. And I'm sure Fubara is very likely to do the same in Rivers. You find out that even Mba in Enugu will likely do the same thing. All those ones who are PDP and are looking for second term will feel that the safe way to do it is to run into APC. Soludo would have done the same, but it's very late for him. The APC have already had their candidate, and Soludo too is having a lot of issues with the people in Anambra, both security-wise, and the draconian method he's using under a democratic environment. The whole thing, when you add them all, is working against him. You should thank his stars if he smells the second term. Because the ruling party will solidly support their own candidate and be sure they remove him from that government house he has just built.
Okay.
And they will surely do that. They will certainly and very likely do that. So you can see now what is playing out. It's game of survival. So those governors who still have second term to run for are trying their possible best to jump into APC before 2027. So whatever else Ojo Zakali is saying is what a party man is expected to say, so that he will continue to be relevant to that party. That's exactly what is playing out.
CP, Nigeria is, okay, let me not say that. The federal government is set to borrow another $24 billion. Fresh $24 billion will be borrowed. And that may balloon our debt to about 183 trillion naira. CP.
My brother. You see, it's like postponing the evil day or the doomsday. I am really pained by all this quantum of borrowings. Number one is to borrow. Number two is, how are you going to pay back?
Pay back.
How are you going to pay back? They are not thinking about that. That will show you that they are typical politicians. Because in Zeke's time, Dr. Namdaski will always tell you that statesmen will always think of the next generation. While politicians is only thinking of election, how to win the election and loot the treasury. Those are the interests of the politicians. They are not statesmen at all. Who are they accumulating this debt? They are accumulating it for generations unborn. And do they think that the generations unborn, when they come, that they will bless their memories? Because by then they will have joined their ancestors and become sand. You know, look at other developing countries. Let us even not compare with developed economies. See how they are conserving whatever resources they have, how they are managing themselves. Many of them don't even have oil. Does Rwanda have oil? Does Swaziland, do they have oil? Does Ghana, if they've discovered oil yesterday, what quantity do they have? Go and see how they are running their economies. And I wouldn't even want to compare any of the North African countries. Those ones should be close to what maybe they are having Mediterranean influence. They are close to what Europe is doing. Our own is only squandering of borrowed funds. And when they finish squandering it, they think of going to borrow again. So why do we have the economic team? What advice are they even giving the government? The so-called economic team.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit of what is happening in the southeast now. But before I go to the southeast, I mean, Simon Ekpa is in the news this morning, big time. But before I begin to touch Simon Ekpa, Orji Uzokalo is saying that the North and the South are behind Tinubu. But we hear recently that the North, is planning to, go behind Tinubu to, destroy some, I don't know which word I want to use right now. But that the North is not with Tinubu anymore. The North is no longer with Tinubu. And that's why it's coming to the South to ask this, unsettle the Southern governor, so to speak, so as to get votes. But here we have Senator Orji Uzokalo saying this morning that the entire North and the entire South are against Tinubu. Are for Tinubu, are behind Tinubu. How would you look at the statement?
That's a political statement by Orji Uzokalo. Who is the North? Who is even referring to as the North? The North is a diverse environment. We have Christians who are at pains of how they are losing lives and government not doing enough to protect them. We have the Muslims who are equally suffering the same fate from the headsman as well as Boko Haram and Iswa. So when you look at that side alone, you see that the North is totally polarized politically.
Okay.
Then you talk of the South, especially the South, is see the extent of loss of lives we are having and the security issues, especially in Ebonyi. Some parts of Enugu State, Ozuwani, and those axes that have boundary with both Kogi and Benin states. The way people are losing lives in their farmlands, to the extent that they burn their houses, chase them away, and sit down there and balance that they are now the new owners. You can imagine a useless idiot from maybe either Chad or Niger coming to sit in Ebonyi and say that is his conquered land, and then the government will keep quiet. All these things happening now are part of the things that will form the opinion of the people when the election proper comes. We still have 2 years to go. These are factors that will determine who they are going to support in the election. That is if their votes is going to count too. Because that provides, if their vote is going to count, these are the issues that will arise at the nick of time.
Okay, now Let's now talk about the issue of Simon Ekpa. We hear, I mean, I don't know if you've heard this name, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile. I'm sure you've heard that, right, CP?
I've been hearing that.
Okay.
It's a figment of imagination of APC.
Beautiful. Now, let me now continue with the information. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile has declared a 2-day lockdown across the southeast region to mark the court appearance of Simon Ekpa in Finland tomorrow, May the 29th. You know, the lockdown, the group said, it's set for May 29th and 30th, intending to honor Ekpa's court appearance and celebrate the Biafra cause. CP, again, I've asked this question before. What is the Southeast, or let me not generalize it now, what is some section of the Southeast doing to the entire Southeast?
I've always told you that that NSAS of 2020 is the genesis of what the Southeast is suffering today. That jailbreak in Owerri that saw 2,000 people plus escape from their place. Those people did not go back to their homes because they know that the government forces will look for them. They all ended up in the forest. They are the ones causing this havoc for the people of Southeast. So all these alabagu and huge and cries that the people are suffering, and the alabagu that these criminals are, forcing down on the people, is exactly the situation in the Southeast. The reality is that the people are scared. You don't know who is behind you, watching all your time, listening to your statements. If you say, these people, government should come and deal with them, or maybe the next one will be the target. They know you, but you don't know them. So that is the situation in Southeast. That this so-called government in exile, that's the type of thing they enjoy. Which government is in exile?
Okay.
Where is their office? Who are the members of the government in exile at home and abroad? That is exactly Advance 419 that EPA was using to be collecting money from people. From those who are very stupid and very naive. He was telling them he's going to be sure that very soon we'll get this Biafra. He may even be telling them, and some of them are people with PhDs, and they believe him.
Oh, really?
He'll be telling them that he has already been to United Nations, and they have assured him that very soon they will give the Southeast a country of their own. Is that the way it's done? It's a very terrible thing. And the people, you see, the first thing, the law of survival is that whatever you do to be alive, you do it. Let it even be that you have labeled a coward. And that is exactly what is happening in South. People are just doing all these things. They are obeying them so that they won't end up being victims. Because if you say, okay, no, they are talking nonsense. What are they saying? We have army, we have police to protect us. When it happens, army and police will not be there because they will look for isolated locations, come there and burn down vehicles, burn down people's market and shop, and say, why didn't you obey government in Biafra in exile?
Okay.
And then they disappear. So who are you going to hold?
To be ready to lose the entire Southeast in 2027 general election, if he failed to dialogue with the non-violent pro-Biafra agitators who have been seeking an audience with him, he will lose the entire Southeast if he does not have a tete-a-tete with Biafra agitators. Your comment on that before we go?
Honestly, are they sure Haneze said this? They need to verify that too, because the Haneze I know and the leadership would not want to get involved in anything politics. It's a socio-cultural organization that is thinking of how to improve on the economy of the people of the Southeast and seek for how to get security for the people. Their concern shouldn't be issues like whether pro-Biafra or no pro-Biafra. What business do they have with pro-Biafra agitators? They should not get themselves involved. If actually they did, they should withdraw their statement on that. Leave those people. They know what they are doing. It is criminal enterprise as far as I am concerned that they call pro-Biafra. Who are the people behind the pro-Biafra? Let them come out. Let us see them. Where is their identity? Where is their office? Who are the persons behind them? Let them come out openly. At the end of the day, you won't see anybody because they know they are a criminal gang and enterprise. That's the truth of the matter.